Now, when we talk about tenses, we call them tense and aspects. If I ask you what are the tenses in English, most probably you're going to say past, present, continuous, simple present, simple past, simple continuous, and simple present, simple past, future, past continuous, present continuous, what else? Future continuous, sometimes you don't even mention it, and also you might even mention the perfect tenses. To have it in a much simpler and easier way, tense is the time. And so we're talking about past, we're talking about present, we're talking about future. It talks about the time itself. Aspect is about how we express that time, the message that we have it. So let me write it here. Tense is about time. And aspect is about the message. Okay. What does that mean? We have three aspects. We have simple, we have simple, we have progressive, also known as continuous, and we have perfect. You know that tense is about time, and we're talking about the line of time. Which goes way to the past, way to the future, and so on. The aspect is about why we want to express this, what do we want to express exactly, and how do we want to express it. So for example, with the simple tenses, it has a simple structure, subject plus verb. The verb has the tense, and then object, whereas we have examples like I went home, she went home, they went home. Here we have subject, verb, object, and the tense is with the verb, and this here, that's a past. That's a past simple. So what we did is that we linked the past with simple. The message is simple. The message here is to simply point at the action. So message, point at action. We will point at the action in the past. We will point at the action in the present, like I go home, and that's my habit. She goes home, and that's her truth or habit. They go home. And that's with the simple present. In the future, we would say, I will go home. She will go home. They will go home. So what did we do? We matched past with the simple. We match present with simple. We matched future with simple. And the structure is very clear. It's very easy. Start the sentence with your subject, then have the verb, give the verb the tense, and then continue with the rest of the sentence. What is my message? Simply to point out. Now, if we take these and try to check for the progressive or continuous tenses, the structure has two verbs. The first verb is verb to be, and it has the tense. The second verb is the main verb, and we add to it ing. We call this present participle. It's where we have the verb plus ing, and then we continue with our sentence. The message here is to show progress or continuation. So we show progress or continuation of action. And that is my message. I want to say that it started, that it continued for a while, and then it stopped. So it shows progress or continuation of action. How do I express that in sentences? I will take the same example of I with home and the verb goes. But I will change it. The first verb is verb to be. If I'm talking past, then I was. The verb go plus ing becomes I was going home. She was going home. They were going home. Because verb to be in the past is was for I, he, she, and it. And in the present, it's I am, he, she, it is, they are. So in the present, I am going home, she is going home, they are going home. And in the future, we'll add will at the beginning, and after will, we always have the verb in the base form. So I will be, because be is the base form of this verb. She will be going home. They will be going home. And that's how we have the past continuous. If we're starting with the past, let me start here with the past. We have the past continuous, we have the present continuous, and we have the future continuous. And the message is to show that the action has started and it was progressing. And how did we do that? By connecting the past, the tense with the aspect, by connecting the present, the tense with the aspect, and by connecting the future, the tense with the aspect. Then we move to the perfect tenses. The structure of the perfect tenses has also two verbs, but the helping verb is have. And the message itself is to stress on the time spent, show the duration it took, and that the action has ended with its consequences. So, shows the duration of action, stress the duration of the action. We want to stress the duration of the action and that the action has ended with its consequences as well. For example, I would say something like, I had waited for 4 hours. Usually with the perfect tenses, we have a time expression to focus on their duration. You, or let's use she. She had waited for 4 hours. They had waited for 4 hours. Let me replace 4 with a number. Okay. So here, have in the past has the same form, had, for all of the pronouns. I, you, they, she, he, it. It's all had. But in the present, we say have. I have. They have. She has waited. And that's for the present. Here, my aim and my main focus is that the action started, it continued for some time, there was a duration of time, and then it's ended and it stopped. Nothing is left behind it. And in the future, it's no difference than the others. We stick will before the first verb. I will have waited. And because will makes the verb after it in the base form, it becomes she will have waited and they will have waited. Similarly. And that's how we express it here. So the message is to stress the duration, so to tell that the action started, continued for some time, and then it ended. So let's use a color that we don't hate that much, and to show the difference. By knowing the structure of each tense and aspect, by knowing the message we use for each tense and aspect, then we will know which one to use and why to use it. What message do I give? What message do I want to convey? Will they be able to understand what I want to tell them? Why? And that's why some speakers are much better than others in delivering their message. Because when we talk about the line of time, we're showing when the action is, what happened, and so on. So for the simple tenses, I'm simply saying the action is in the past, the action happens every day at the same time, or the action is in the future. The progressive tenses, we say the action started in the past, it continued and progressed for some time, I don't care much about the end. In the present continuous, we say that the action started a bit earlier, it is still continuing, it's not done yet. With the future progressive, we say that the start of the action is in the future and will continue for some time, but I'm not concerned with the end. For future tenses, for perfect tenses, I will say that the action started in the past, continued for some time, and then it ended. For in the present, it started a bit earlier, it continued, and it just ended at the present. In the future, it will start in the future, it will continue for some time, and then it will end. That is for the affirmative sentences. That is for the affirmative sentences, meaning the positive structure. If you want to take a picture of this board, you can do so now, right now, because I'm going to switch to the book. Going to the book, it only